to MyGlamSquad, your #1 source for all things beauty.
Alright guys, to start this look, I'm taking Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Brow in Chocolate and softly running it through her eyebrows. Next I'm taking MAC's Paint Pot in Ochre and I'm applying this with a damp beauty blender. If you've never tried this before, you should give it a shot. It really helps to set everything nicely. Anytime I'm going for a smoky eye, I make sure to pop a warm color through the crease and on the eyelids first to blend. The shade I'm using today is called Eudwin from the Kat Von D Shade and Light eyeshadow palette. From the same palette, I'm picking up a red-brown shade called Succubus and I'm running that color throughout her crease. Going back with the same brush I used for my transition color, I am blending everything out so that it has no harsh edges. I then took MAC Cosmetics Deep Damson eyeshadow and mixed it with a red purplish eyeshadow from the Jaclyn Hill Morph palette. You'll notice that I'm leaving the center of the lid clean and clear because I'm going over it with a black shadow next. Before adding the black eyeshadow, I decided to go back in with Deep Damson and darken things up a bit. I'm then taking Urban Decay's Blackout eyeshadow and applying it from the edge of the outer corner all the way to the inner corner of the lid. If you use a tapping motion rather than a blending motion, it'll ensure that you get no fallout on the under eyes. To blend the shadow in the crease a little bit better, I went back in with Deep Damson and started to blend it out. To blend things out further, you can take a clean blending brush and brush through the black and the maroon shadows. On this step of the eye, you can use a black glitter eyeshadow or any kind of pigment you want to use. I took a gray pigment and just pressed it along that black center. Switching from the eyes now to the face, I'm going in with MAC's Studio Fix Fluid in NC20. I'm now taking Prolonged Wear Concealer in NC20 along her under eye area and down the side of her nose. This is going to help cover any redness she has around her nose and mouth area and leave her with a flawless, full coverage finish. To set the center of her face, I'm using the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder. I'm also going to be taking this powder and dapping it through the middle of her forehead and down her nose. I'm using the biggest fluffy brush I have in my collection to move the powders off the face but not disturb the rest of the makeup. I'm using my favorite Real Techniques brush to take off the under eye powder. After using a full coverage foundation, you're going to want to put back a shape into your client's face. I'm using my Hoola bronzer from Benefit to sculpt her cheekbones and apply it to her forehead. For blush, I'm taking MAC's Melba and I'm applying this to the center of her cheeks back into the contour area. As a highlight, I used Anastasia Beverly Hills So Hollywood highlighter on her cheekbones and down the center of her face. For this look, I decided to go with a nudie gloss. I used NYX Cosmetics Intense Butter Gloss in the shade Praline. For lashes, we went with a double stacked pair of Ardell's Wispy eyelashes. If you want to go for a much simpler look, I would go with just one of the Demi Wispies instead of two of them. To match the lower half of her eyes to the top, I took MAC's Deep Damson eyeshadow and ran it through the lower lash line. You can go in with a blending brush next and sweep it right under that color to get rid of any harsh lines. To intensify the lashes, I didn't want to go with the mascara, so I chose to go with that same black eyeshadow right under the lower lash line. I then took Anastasia's Vanilla and swept it in the inner corner of the eye. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.